Hello, successionaires, and welcome to the TV and conference call show, The Road to Success. You know, the talk show, The Road to Success, is a talk show, and it's all about and for you. We talk about any and everything that you want to talk about, although we do have a main topic for each show. This evening's show, I have a guest coming on, the author of the book, The Student Millionaire, and I'm going to bring him on in a little bit. I'm your host, Professor William Murray. I'm also the president of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute, which is an institute for entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs. It's here where millionaire mindsets, lifestyles, and businesses are made. It is at the Millionaire Mastermind Institute where we take you from idea to implementation and beyond. See, and now the show, and I'm also the sponsor, one of the sponsors of the Road to Success TV and conference call show. You know, the show is here for you. It's all about you. It's for you. I get a lot of emails at TRTS. See that? The Road to Success, TRTS.info1@gmail.com. I get a lot of emails and a lot of calls, and I get topics that they want me to cover. And I do. So I got a list of things I'm going to do and topics that we're going to cover. I've got to find a few experts in some of them because, I mean, I can give you information on it, but that's not my expertise. My expertise and my thing that y'all want from me is for me to bring in to you people or experts that can help you in a professional manner. You know, and as always, the God in me greets and blesses the God in you. Like I said, this evening's show is an author and a gentleman I have the privilege of knowing and coaching for a number of years. And I look at where he has developed and gone since I was coaching him. And maybe he'll, talk about how I helped him in coaching. So y'all see and know that I'm good at what I do. I really, really am. I'm good at what I do. Let me do this real quick. There it is. I have the number up there if you want to call in to the conference call that you can call because it's live. Whenever you want to speak, don't wait for us to say speak. You have a question, just kind of be nice and interrupt us with the questions. And if you're on social media, if you are on social media, if you're on, I have all these sites that I'm on. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, W. Murray. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Periscope. I'm on Twitter. I'm on the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. And I have my conference call where the number is 218-548-0510. And the PIN number is 1950 pound. So if you want to talk live, there it is. Let me see if I can get everything to come up. Now, I'm still y'all putting everything up, but once I start, I still have things I have to do to get everything, everybody on the show and get all my sites up and running. But there I am. I mean, what's a good looking man? What can I say? I have fun. Like they say, you got to laugh at yourself. See, it doesn't bother when people laugh at me because I'm too busy laughing at myself. And I see, how you doing out there, Derry? Mr. Edwards? I'm glad to see you there. I see I got my girl Maggie on. Oh, see, these other numbers, I don't have a name beside it. So I can't tell you who they are. But, it's early in the show. People be coming on all during the show. Because right now, it is with the new system, I'm really really, really growing. The show is growing with the new system. And I'm so excited and proud about it. Let me go here. And then let me go. Let me do this here. Okay. Now, this evening show will be quite an interesting show because gentlemen and I teach and do pretty much almost the same thing. That's why I was easy coaching him. I just let him do what I did, and I taught him how to build and grow his network and his business. And then he ended up writing a book, A Student Millionaire, a guide for young adults to find their path to their first $1 million. You know, I believe in talking to and teaching the youth. The youth, they are our future. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And the more we teach them, the better for us, because they are the ones that are going to have to take care of us. And like I tell you, you're never too young, never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach. As y'all know, I'm out there looking for interns. So I have a couple of youth that's coming on that are in their teens. I have one that just is going into his second or third year of college. And I think he's going to UMBC, University of Maryland, Boston College. And I'm very proud of him, and he is really helping me a lot. I'm gonna let him. He's gonna work a lot with my other interns, and we're gonna be having a meeting every week, at least twice a week. See, they can work from home, and they're gonna teach me a lot. See, they understand all of this social media stuff that I can't. I just can't do everything, y'all. I really, really can't. So they're going to help me build and grow this with some more of my social media stuff together. Because I did everything I've done so far. I did it. But it was with the lessons, and of course I had to pay for a lot of it. But y'all, it's turned out to be worth it. I'm getting people who want me to find out, is it safe yet? And I just had to turn down, and it really hurt me that I had to turn down this one job because I didn't want to bring that many people into a room, this Delta virus. And he wasn't sure how many of his people did and how many didn't have their shot. And I'm not gonna go around it. I'm not, y'all. And I told him I would, I didn't tell him no. We had a conversation. I told him about what's going on. And then when I told him that those who don't have the shots have a 300% chance of catching the virus and dying. If you have not had the shot, you have a 300% chance of catching the virus and dying. That's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing. 300% chance greater getting the virus. Because you know that 97%, 97, 98% of those right now in America that have the virus do not have the shot. Haven't gotten the shot yet. Think about that. And I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it and I'm pushing it. Get the shot, y'all. Don't be crazy. Don't be no fool. Go out there and do what you got to do, what you're supposed to do. Protect your face, protect you, your family, and everyone that you come in contact with. Now, they just had this event. Oh, God, that quick, I forgot. They have it every year, and they expect almost 700,000 people come to this motorcycle event. And you know what that's going to be. It's in South Dakota. It's called it was last weekend, I think, last week. They estimate 700,000. So you know there's going to be a spread of the disease. Hello, Miss Alfred. Glad to see you, darling. Koofy Cuffy is watching. All right, all right. I'm seeing all these people coming on. I just love it. I get all these new people on, and for those of you on social media, if you go ahead and post in the feed, I want to read your post. And once we get started, you can talk to me and my guests. And you can post, and I'll read your post and answer whatever it is you are posting. You can post in YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, my Facebook page. I mean, I got it all, y'all. And you can post in any of them, and I will see your post. Well, y'all, I ran my mouth enough. Let me bring on my guest, who I am very, very glad to know, Rich Patenaude. How are you doing, my brother?
Good evening, sir. Good to see you.
All right, man, you know what? Like I always tell you, man, it's good being seen. It's good being seen. Better being seen than viewed.
It's 4 years this month that you and I first met.
Really? It's been 4 years?
Years this month.
All right, all right. That's what I'm talking about.
August 2017.
Okay, I'm glad. Well, it was a pleasure, Rich. I ain't gonna tell you no. It's been a pleasure, man. It has been a pleasure.
Well, you have, it's interesting because you were talking about it earlier. When we met, was at a low point for me. I felt like I had gone as far as I could go on my own, and I needed somebody to give me some more direction. And I came to you and attended a millionaire talks and seminars and things, and it really helped me get over that hump to where I am today. Thank you.
Well, Rich, I'm very adamant, and I don't pull no punches. And I'm not a sympathy person. You want sympathy? I ain't the one. And I was telling you what you could do, but I couldn't make you. You had to do it yourself, and you did. You were a very man. I ain't gonna lie that you were a very good student.
I was like a pit bull. I just kept going.
Yeah, you took my instructions and ran with it, and that's why you end up being as successful as you are, because you listen. You listened, and you did. Every time I gave you an assignment, you did it, which is a great thing. Tell the people, I could read your bio, Rich, but I'm not going to read your bio.
No, I don't.
Tell people, who is Rich Patenaude?
Okay, right behind where you're sitting, you have Millionaire Mindset on the wall behind you.
Yes.
Right behind you. And that's my focus, your mindset. And as you've been teaching it a long time, that we don't teach our kids to think this way. You go to school, you do as much school as you can stand, but nobody everywhere, anywhere talks about becoming a millionaire or following your dreams. Nobody. You do, and that's why you and I connected, but nobody talks about that. And I'm all about teaching young people. When before the whole COVID thing, I would go to middle schools and high schools throughout where I live, and on career day, and talk to these kids and explain to them what it means to have a dream and a mindset to make your first $1 million. I mean, it's like, no, who does that? Nobody does that. You do, but I don't know anybody else who does. I mean, yeah, you can listen to it on YouTube and stuff, but to go right to the source, to go talk to these kids and inspire them to follow their dream, and beyond school and beyond. I mean, you have to get schooling, no question, but beyond that, everybody has a gift. Everybody has something that they're good at with the and that they can do. And everybody tries to fit in to society, and what can I do? What kind of job can I get? Well, you can get a job. That's not, and work at that. That's fine. We all do. I did for 40 years, you know, and, but it wasn't until I retired that I came up with this idea. I said, why? I did the research and wrote the book. It's very simple, very easy to read, and I said, if it's if the formula for success that you talk about is that simple, why are we not teaching young people to think this way? That's it.
Rich, here's the thing about the whole thing too, Rich. The youth are hungry for the
Yes.
information, but
Yes.
the system that's
Yes.
in the schools does not teach them the possibility of entrepreneurship.
That's
The
right.
system in the schools tells them to get a good education and go get a job.
Yep. That's exactly right.
That 40, that 40, 40, 40 ain't there no more. 40 years of hard work to get 40% of your pay, that ain't there no more.
No.
And they tell, and they aren't teaching the kids three courses: entrepreneurship, business, and finance.
Mhm.
It's something that that's one of the things when I go to schools I really, really emphasize and teach the kids that they need to learn that. I mean, if they don't get into school, the Millionaire Mastermind Institute is out there. You're out there going to the schools, teaching the students about how to become a millionaire and what it takes to have a business. We teach them the mindset because they aren't they aren't giving them the mindset that they need
That's
in
right.
order to get what the future is waiting for them on.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
They want them to go get a job in McDonald's and all these fast food places. That's okay when you're 14, 15, 16, and maybe 17.
That's
But
right.
after that, baby,
No.
you can't go to college on that salary.
Uh-uh.
You can't live on that salary. You aren't going to have a future at that salary. That's just a stepping stone to get you. But see, no one teaches them that they have to follow people like me,
Mm-hmm.
like you, and the others out there that's teaching them how to survive in their tomorrow.
That's right. Because most of the businesses, I'd say, if you read a lot, and if you read these futurist guys, you know, half the businesses that exist today will not exist 20 years from now. So you're training these kids to get a job in a place that won't exist in 20 years. I mean, really, as opposed to doing their own business, as opposed to having the mindset to be persistent, as opposed to following their own dream and passion and not being afraid of that. Those are the things that you teach. Those are the things that I teach. And it seems so simple to us. But when I go to these schools, the kids get it. The teachers look at me like a deer in headlights. Like, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? And, but the kids come up to me after I talk and they say, I had given up on my dream, but listening to you, I'm encouraged to go follow it. And when I hear that from students, it really warms my heart. That's they need to be inspired. That's all.
Well, Rich, and something I'm very easygoing guy. I'm a very nice guy, but I and when I'm coaching and teaching, I'm very adamant on you listening and doing what I tell you to do. Now, the kids are hungry, man. They are hungry. They are hungry for what more than the school curriculum. Because the school curriculum ain't interesting. Hell, they know social media, social media and stuff a lot better than the teachers do.
Of course.
They know what they want. See, the teachers are teaching but not listening what they need to learn. They're going by the curriculum. And the curriculum is boring to the kids.
It is. It is.
Now, how did you come about the book and the title of the book, The Student Millionaire? How did you come about that, Rich?
Okay. I retired in 2012, and I was not a millionaire. But I had seen people, do well and become millionaires and live this life that I envied, but I had no idea how they did that. I'm a fairly smart guy, and I figured, what is going on here? What am I doing wrong? And what's going on? And with all the research I've done, and I've simplified everything in my little book, and it's basically your mindset is everything.
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 Everything, period.
Period. That's it. But, again, I break that down into the 10 steps to a proper success and wealth mindset that they should teach you from the first grade on, so that by the time you graduate from high school, you've got a business going and you know what your passion is and you're moving your life in that direction. That would be my goal, to get kids to do that.
Well, now now this isn't only for kids, y'all. This is for you adults too.
Yes, it is.
Because if you're not doing what needs to be done, it ain't only the children; it's you too.
That's right. That's right.
Now, I do most of my shows are neutral. It covers all ages. Anyone can listen to my show and gain something. But I have special presentations that I give to the youth that interest them. They don't have the experiences that a lot of adults or older have. So a lot of it I got to give them in a manner to where they are mentally.
Right.
And I've got to let them know that in order to grow, you must know. And they got to get over the fact that everybody ain't for you. Your friends ain't for you. And, like I tell them, if you're the smartest person, and if you think you are the smartest person, you got a problem. And if you are, you got a bigger problem. You want to be around people who are smarter than you, who know more than you.
Yep.
Be around people. See, they be beating up, knocking, and bullying the A students, the B students, the honor roll students. Well, hell, those are the ones you need to make your friend and be around.
That's right. Yep. Absolutely.
Now, I've read your book. I read most of it. I mean, I get so many books, Rich, and I've read some of your book, and it's very easy reading, y'all. It's very easy reading. A guide for youth adults to find their path for their first $1 million. That ain't you. You talk to youth. That's why you say youth. But this book will go for anybody.
Of course, the stuff that I distilled in this book, the simple 10 steps to a proper success and wealth mindset, Mr. Murray, had been around for 100 years. 100 years. And it's not in our school system, but the material, the research, the results, everything that I just boiled down to this simple 10-step program has been around for 100 years. 100.
That makes no sense. And one thing I very, very push, ignorance is a choice.
Yeah.
If you really don't know, it's because you aren't willing to put in the time and do the research.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you don't get it all, you call me.
Yeah.
Call you. Because we're the experts. See, I know I'm brilliant. And I often say that. No, y'all, that does not make me conceited. Because here's how I understand my brilliance. My brilliance has no value to no one but me. You don't want my brilliance. What you want from me is my expertise. See, my brilliance, I love to study, but I can't give you my expertise until I work on my brilliance. I've been a 45-year entrepreneur, y'all. I've read hundreds and hundreds of books. I've been in classes around many, many people of means, professionals, experts in every field of business. They're bringing them on the Institute. The only time when I'm an educator is when I'm on stage. Outside of that, I'm a student. And to know that. Now, how can a person acknowledge, access, and apply the greatest resources available, Rich?
In terms of what?
Well, just in terms of of getting the information and the knowledge.
Okay. Well,
and the understanding.
That was the reason that I did what I did, because there are a lot of books and people don't have time sometimes to read all these books that you've read, I've read, and that's why I put all this stuff down into a simple formula in that book. I'll tell you, one of the things that was on my mind for all my life, if I could share this with you and your audience, my uncle and my father were both, they're from Canada, right? My parents are both from Canada, French Canada. As a result, you can see from my last name. My dad was a mechanic, and both my dad and my uncle didn't get past the seventh grade. Seventh grade. And they went to work in a factory and to help with the household income, all that kind of stuff. But my uncle, my father's younger brother, was a self-made multimillionaire back in the 1960s when I was a teenager. And it blew me away. I mean, here's a guy who looked like my dad, talked like my dad, came from the same family as my dad, but became wealthy and a multimillionaire. And I could never figure out how in the world he did that. It boggled my mind until I retired, did the research, and wrote this book. That's when I realized that he was dropping hints. There's a formula, and all these people like Dennis Kimbrough and Steve Harvey, they all talk about it. The very first step is to decide what it is you want to do. It's a decision. Right. A decision is the first step. That's chapter 1 in my book, the decision. And my uncle had made that decision early as a young man. Totally, he didn't know any millionaires. He wasn't a millionaire, but he just made the decision that he was going to be rich, period. Okay, so he makes this decision, and it all kind of evolves from there. All the different steps. He made the decision. He had a reason why. He had a goal, which is to make money, be rich. So he became a millionaire. And all this other stuff, like the law of attraction, your intuition, which is really important, believing in yourself and in your dream, which is really important, and having the courage and the confidence to move yourself forward. And finally, the business that you have. So, and you don't know where all this stuff's going to come from. The amazing part of my uncle's story is that he made the decision, and then he had to find a way to make money. Well, Mr. Murray, you know what the law of attraction is. You Yes. Make a decision, and stuff comes up. People come up in your life. People you didn't know before. People introduce yourself, whatever. This is really the amazing part of that story. My uncle got the recipe from a local butcher to make sausage. Seriously. And so he borrowed what little money he could and started making sausage in his garage. Seriously, sausage in his garage. And that humble beginning, the decision, a way to make $1 million, or he didn't even know that he was going to make $1 million. He just wanted to make money. And then all of a sudden, this recipe shows up, and he starts making sausage in his garage. That turned into a factory that was the #1 maker of hot dogs, bologna, and sausage in the province of Quebec, Canada, within 10 years. That's the story. And the whole thing is his mindset. He had made the decision, he believed in himself, and he took whatever action his intuition told him to take to move himself forward. And so now I know that now, looking back, I understand. As a matter of fact, his picture is right here on my desk. He's an inspiration to me. He came from nothing and accomplished so much. A multimillionaire in the 60s is really something. You didn't have the internet in those days. You didn't have social media in those days. You had nothing. You had an idea and hard work. And he worked very hard. But he made it, and he did it. But, and he did the formula. And I didn't understand until I retired, did the research, wrote the book, then I said, aha, that's how he did it. His mindset drove him to that success. And you talk about successionaires all the time, talk about millionaire mindset. My uncle is a perfect example of that. Perfect. Coming from nothing and having an idea and becoming the #1 producer of hot dogs, bologna, and sausage for the province of Quebec, Canada. It's an amazing story. He really is an inspiration to me.
Rich, you said something that's very, very powerful. The reason he was successful is he learned to believe in himself.
Yep.
Patience.
Yep.
Persistence.
Yep.
Will get you any and everything that you want. Patience and persistence. And here's the thing. He was the first one in where was it? In Canada?
Canada.
To do sausage. Well, hell, look where Harley Davidson started. Look where Google started.
Yeah.
All them things started in the garage.
Yeah, that's right.
See, here's the thing about, I was writing in my book today because I'm determined to finish my book by the end of the month.
Uh-huh.
And next week, I'm going to do a show on how to write a book. Somebody called me today and said, can you do a show? And I'm going to do a show next week. I'm writing a book. But here's the thing about, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, more powerful than an idea whose time has come.
That's right.
Look at your uncle. His idea time had come.
Yeah.
And he took advantage of it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, so many people told you, man, you crazy. What are you doing?
That's right.
In your garage, you can't do this. You can't do that. Who's going to buy it? And right now, he's laughing at all of them right all the way to the bank. Like I tell people, those who doubted me, because they told me I'd never be a good speaker and educator because I stutter and I stammer. Well, you know what? I laugh at them because they're all the same. They laugh at me. They were laughing at me because I want to do something different. But I'm laughing at them now because they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference that I do that makes me successful. I'm not the only one I heard with a show. I'm not the only one I heard that speaks and teaches on mindset. Why am I successful and they're not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting in the time to research and doing what needs to be done in order to be successful. My ideas time had come. How I do what I do. Mm-hmm. Just like you look at you, Rich. Mm-hmm. Your time had come.
It's like people just need to know this stuff. Nobody, simplifies it. Your audience. When I retired, and I wanted to find the answer, I think I told you this. I wanted the answer to one question: how do you become a millionaire? And I want to become one before I die. Just that one question. And that led me to all of the stuff that I've been through for the last 8 years. And running into you was halfway on my journey, and I needed to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And there's a time, to do that, you easily can get discouraged. You and I have talked about Dennis Kimbrough, and we know, one of his books is Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. That's
Yes.
his book, and it's a wealth choice. He calls it the wealth choice, and you just said that it's a choice, and you choose and you make a decision and you move forward and you believe in yourself, and regardless of what the people around you say or try to discourage you or don't support you or whatever, you have to, you are you. I mean, I love, Steve Harvey's story about Marie Callender. You can't go to the grocery store and not see in the frozen food section Marie Callender pies and everything else. She started with pie, one pie, and that led to everything else. But you got to start somewhere. You got to believe in yourself. What are you good at? What do you do better than anybody else? What's your gift? And that's a clue to what direction you should take in life. But we need to tell young people to do that, to believe in themselves. What are they good at? What do they like? When I go and at schools, and I have, this, I'm in front of a class or whatever, I'll tell a young lady, I'll pick her out of the class, and I say, look, what if you had a secret wish to become a world-class designer? What if you had that clip? But nobody around you would believe that you could do that. But that's what you really want in your heart. I said, then if that's in your heart, then you keep it in your heart and you move yourself in that direction. And I say, for example, this is, before the pandemic, there's a bunch of boutiques in Georgetown, high-end places. I say, you could volunteer there. You could spend your Saturdays getting to know people like you do, Mr. Murray. You get to know people and talk to people at different places. And who knows, they can tell you about the business. That you might go to a design school, and you just have to keep following your dream, and you
No,
can't give up on yourself.
Rich, you were talking about Dennis Kimbrough, and him and I shared the stage together more than once.
Mm-hmm.
We were both booked at these various things and speaking. And the brother's so every day. He's just so every day.
He
He's not.
is.
I mean, he's just every day. And I've had the privilege of us talking and getting to know each other. And I've had the privilege of being around all of these great people, then having an institute and inviting them in to speak at my events. That's a plus for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when I'm sitting out there, I'm a student. I'm only an educator when I'm on stage. Rich, let me take a break for a moment, and I
Sure.
will be right back.
Okay.
Let me give y'all this, y'all. The show, the road to success. We only survive off of your donations, off of your support. You can donate to the show to success, the road to success, by going to Cash App $W Murray. Cash App $W Murray. Or you can go to PayPal.me/MM Institute. PayPal.me/MM Institute. Or if you want to send us some money, a cash or cashier's check or whatever, first check, you can send it to P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. That's P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. We're depending on you, y'all. It's up to you to help build us, to help grow us. $5, $10, $20, $25. All of that is valuable. Every penny that you donate goes to the show, The Road to Success. So I appreciate those who are donating, who are supporting the show. Keep supporting. You see, I've got a whole new system. I had to buy new equipment, laptop, cameras, tablets, and all of that. And the system itself cost a pretty penny. So I'm saying donate. Cash App, $W Murray. PayPal, paypal.me/W Murray. Am I right? Yeah, paypal.me/MM Institute. Sorry, MM Institute. PayPal.me/MM Institute. Or send it to P.O. Box 47438, Christ, Maryland 20753. And I appreciate the fact that y'all are supporting the show and help me build and grow. So I can keep putting it, spread the word, y'all. Give a blessing to the show and a blessing to yourself by telling someone. You never ever know blessing that you're giving someone when they tune in and helps them. Look what I did for Rich. I'm gonna bring Rich back right now. I'm gonna ask Rich. I want to ask you a question. What did my coaching do for you?
In a word, it helped me deepen my mindset to get through the hump that I was going through when you and I first met 4 years ago. And I needed some direction. I needed some direction. And and you were at the time, this is again before the pandemic, you were giving a lot of seminars and classes, and I attended all of them because I needed it. And you were kind enough to give me instruction and pat me on the back and say I was good, good job, and so on. And
would say and push you and kick you on your butt and make sure you're doing it right.
Yep.
Without physically kicking your butt. That was just a word of statement,
Well, I needed that at the time, so I really appreciate it. And it's gotten me to where I'm now in the face of a major donor, and I'm waiting for a response at this point. Something that I could not have even imagined when I started this journey 8 years ago. Nothing. I mean, it's beyond my wildest dream at this point. So, it's just really very cool.
Well, Rich, I look at from where you were to where you are, and I pat myself on the back. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. I do. Rich was one of my better clients and student, and I do kind of pat myself on the back.
You should.
I see where you were, and now look at where you are. I say, look at here. Because what they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's true. That's exactly what happened.
And you are living proof of that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I look at, and I, I love to read, and I read constantly. Today I didn't read a whole lot today because today I was determined I put in 4 or 5 hours on my book. I was just writing. I was writing today, baby. Warren Buffett coaches people and makes them millionaires and billionaires. If you think you don't, ask LeBron James. Because guess who is LeBron James' coach? Mentor. It's
Really?
Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett. Yeah, Warren Buffett.
Wow.
Yeah, they're close. But he doesn't talk about it, and LeBron doesn't talk about it.
Right.
I read a special article on that where no one really knows that he coaches LeBron. And LeBron's mentor. Now, people don't realize LeBron James is a billionaire.
Wow.
Yes, he is a billionaire. He doesn't make his money off basketball as much as he make off of his
Business.
investments
Uh-huh.
and off of his sponsorships. That's where his money is. Yes, he's a billionaire.
That's pretty cool.
No one, because he doesn't brag about his investments.
No, he doesn't.
Look at Magic Johnson. Read the story on Magic since he left basketball, and it's going to shock you. You know, Warren Buffett said something, and I said, okay, that fits me. That fits me. They asked Warren Buffett, if you were to get any superpower that you wanted, what would it be? He said, I want superpower to read faster. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
He would want his superpower to read faster. That means read more books. See, yeah, I'm not materialistic, and thank God for that. The latest and greatest has no value to me. Warren Buffett drives a hoopty. I mean, yeah, he's got the money. He's got some new cars, but most of the time when he's driving a car that's 10, 12, 15 years old.
That's right. That's right.
Why? You know, when I was in real estate, it was amazing. That's before I was to my brilliance that I am now. And I was investing, you know, I had an investor. And every time I saw this guy, man, he was in this little white hoopty. I mean, this thing was always dirty, and it was a hoopty. I mean, I'm talking about a hoopty. And he never, ever wore pants. He always had on a pair of shorts. I would call him and say, I done found a house I want to buy. He'd say, Mr. Murray, send it to me. How much you need? I say, well, I need $200,000 to buy the house. I need another $50,000 to fix it up. He says, what's it worth? I say, it's worth about $400,000 to $500,000. Within 2-3 days, man, I have the money.
Huh.
But you would never know that he was my investor. Because he drove a little dirty white hoopty and always had on shorts, look like a little bum. I would call and get $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 from him. But I'd also call him and say, look, hey, here, I've got a house that you want to buy that you can fix up and make money. He bought one house one time that I gave him, and I wish I had them, but I gave it to him. He paid less than $90,000 for it and sold it for over $450,000.
Wow. That's a pretty good return on your investment.
That was a good return. Now, he had to spend the money fixing it. But when he finished, baby, he made his money back and then some. I met him through one of my friends who was one of my friend's investors. He was my friend's investor. And once the guy met me, I was what he was looking for. I was a realtor. I was out there looking at all these homes and riding around looking for investment properties. And him and I hit it off, man. Just like that, man, we hit it off. Because the first thing I did, I gave him 2 or 3 properties. And then when I called him and told him, look, I got a property I want. First, I never forget, it was over in Capitol Heights. 2-3 days later, man, I had the money.
That's cool.
And when you can buy a property and pay cash for it, that's going to be people who, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it was like cash I was paying, although I owed him. But he got his money back up on me completing the house because he got his money before I got mine. Whenever I sold it for, he got his first because I had to use his title company, which was okay, made it easier. I had my own inspector, but I used his title company. Somebody he knew, and I learned to know and use. So it was good for both of us. So that's the part you said. You never know what to meet me on the street. You never know who I am. I had to tell my neighbor. I said, you don't realize how brilliant your neighbor is. She said, I'm beginning to learn. So after all these years, I'm beginning to listen to your show and see that you are brilliant. She said, I never knew it. Well, if you like to see me every day and not take time to learn me and know me, oh, wait, y'all, my book I'm putting out at the end of the month called From the Mind of William. From the Mind of William. Y'all gonna love my new book. I'm gonna put it on my website very soon, and you can pre-order. So within the next week or so, I should have it on there where you can pre-order my book. My website is info. Wait a minute, no, it's info at mminstitute.info. Info at mminstitute.info. That's my website. Rich, tell people how they can reach you, Rich. How people who are interested in you coming in and speaking and teaching, especially at the schools and to the youth, how can people reach you, Rich?
The best way is on my website. There's a contact tab, and everything is the same thing. The THE is people forget the, but it's the Student Millionaire, and .com is the website. And then the YouTube channel is the same, the Student Millionaire, YouTube, and so on. So, but the website, there's a contact tab where people can reach me. I'd like to share one more story with you before we go, if that's okay.
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay. The mindset stuff is for anybody age 7 to 97. And I'll give you an example of a 7-year-old. Some people know this story, but the Farrah Gray is a young man who grew up in poverty in the suburbs, in public housing in South Chicago. That's a poor area. He didn't know any millionaires. And again, like my uncle, I use Farrah Gray as an example. At the age of 7, he made the decision to become a millionaire. And luckily for him, his family didn't kill his dream. They supported him. You go for it, Farrah. So he did all kinds of stuff, selling rocks, selling all kinds of stuff. But long story short, at the age of 14, he sold the recipe for a pancake syrup he had developed to an Israeli food company for $1.5 million. 14, 7 to 14. But people talk about the end product, but they don't talk about the mindset he needed to have for those 7 years. For 7 years, he kept that goal in the forefront of his mind. He had made the decision. He kept finding a way to keep moving himself forward. Lots of bumps in the road. It's a process. Steve Harvey talks about it all the time. It's a process. But at the age of 14, he reached his goal 7 years later. I'm just sharing that because people say, oh, yeah, that's a kind of a lucky break and winning the lottery. But no, he had the mindset. He made his decision. He had his goal. He believed in himself. How does a young kid in poverty go from nothing to becoming a millionaire in 7 years? That's what's possible when you make your decision and you believe in yourself and you don't stop.
And you work for it. That's
you work
right.
for it. That's it.
Rich, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been, you see, I've got a little something in my throat. It's been a pleasure, my brother. You and I talk. We still stay connected. And I'll bring you back again. This is not the only time you're going to be on my show.
Okay. Always happy to be there.
Hug and kiss the missus for me. Tell her I said hello.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, my brother, for coming on. Yes, lines are open. Somebody talk to us.
Good evening, Success There, Professor Murray. And hello, Rich. How are you?
That's your
Miss
G.
How are you?
Yes, Miss G. My baby girl.
I miss your cookies, Miss G.
It is so good to hear your voice on the line.
I miss your cookies.
You hear him? He said he missed your
I can't
cookies.
hear you.
He said he missed your cookies.
Oh well, I'll have to make him a that. Rick, it is great to hear your voice on the line, and I just wanted to add to the conversation and just say that I bought your book, Rich, several years ago for my son. Now, I can't say that I personally read it, but what I do know for sure, Rich, is that every time you come to the Millionaire Mastermind Institute event and you're on this line, you always bring value. You always bring something to the mastermind table. So I know that that book has value. My son did tell me he enjoyed it. We never sat down to break it down because he moved out of state, so we never took time to really break it down. But I did buy the book for him. He did read it. And I would advise successionaires to purchase that book because I know that it has value because I know you, Rich, and I know the value that you bring. And I just wanted to say that I'm glad to hear you on the voice. I'm glad to hear on the phone, on the call, and I'm glad to hear that you're still spreading the knowledge that you've learned along the way. Again, like Professor Murray said, tell the wife we said hello, and it's so good to hear you on the line. And keep doing what you're doing, Rich. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss G. I appreciate that very much. It means a lot coming from you. Thank you so much.
All right, Rich. I will have you on again. You know that there's no doubt. So thank you, my brother. I mean, you can still hang on and listen to the show. Thanks, Rich.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I want to say hello to Miss Danya Zimmerman, one of my regulars. She's on social media. Hello, Danya. I see you out there. Y'all, this has been a very interesting show. And Rich is one hell of a guy. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And y'all need to get in touch with Rich, especially if you have a youth group. He's who you need to have if you have a youth group. He will educate and give some aha moments to the youth, along with me. William Murray, if you want to book me, all you got to do is dial 240-619-2019. That's 240-619-2019. And just book me. It's easy. It's not hard. This has been a very interesting show, and I've enjoyed this immensely. It's not every day I get a chance to talk to Rich, one of my favorite clients, one of my favorite students. To look at where he is now from where he was. See, it was always there. He just had to learn how to organize. And that's what I taught him. Y'all have heard several people come on, and I don't bring them on to pat me on the back. It's where they are, and I know they can give value to my show and to my listeners. It's not about me. And Lawrence Brown says, great lesson as always, teaching the fundamentals and foundation to have a successful life. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. So that's people that enjoy the show. Next, like I told you, next week I'm gonna do a show on writing a book. Because someone today called me and really, we had a nice conversation. And I says, okay, because my person that I had scheduled for next week wasn't sure they could be there. So I called him and told him, look, don't worry about it. He says, well, I'm not sure. I said, don't worry about it. I'll schedule. And that's what I filled it in with when I'm going to talk about writing a book, how easy it is, how easy it is to get it published, how easy it is to get it formatted. The hardest thing is to get it edited. See, I'm lucky I got an in-home editor. My wife edits my book. But I read it so many times before she does. Because I read it every day in order to pick up from where I was to keep going. So next week y'all tune in and I'm gonna tell you how to write a book. It's not hard. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Well, y'all, you know what time it is. Oh, well, it ain't gonna work for me. Oh, there it is. Like I always tell you, if you push me, I'll pull you. If you pull me, I'll push you. Y'all, it's not going to matter whether I'm pushing or I'm pulling. We're going to get there together. I'm going to guarantee you be a winner. You heard Rich tell you what I did for him. I can do that for you. You know I love you and ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, y'all, God bless. And keep working on your road to success. Until next time, y'all, God bless.